Hello all, welcome to Champion Mindset Education. In today's video, we'll learn about angles. Okay, so before starting with angles, let's learn about few other concepts about what is ray, what are segments, what is line, and types of lines. Okay, and post that we'll start with angles. So starting with line. Line is a straight path that can be extended in both directions. So any straight path that can be extended in both direction is a line. Okay. When it comes to ray starts from a definite point. It starts from a fixed point. So this is a fixed point. From this the ray will start and it can be extended only in one direction. So this part is fixed and it can be extended only in one direction, that is ray. And segment has a fixed length. A segment always start at a fixed path and have a fixed length. The length of a segment is always fixed. If it is 3 centimeter, it is 3 centimeter. If it's 4 centimeter, it can't be extended from both the sides. So line can be extended from any side, from both the sides. Ray, it starts from a fixed point and it can be extended only from one side. And segment, it has a fixed length, so it cannot be extended from any side. Okay, now let's understand the types of line. We have two types of line. First is intersecting line. Intersecting lines, we can say the two lines are intersecting when they meet at a common point. The two lines are intersecting line if the line meets at a common point. Suppose these are the line P, Q, R, S. So PQ, line PQ and RS are intersecting line. And how we can show that? PQ, this is the way you show it. R, as this is the symbol to show the lines. So line PQ and RS are intersecting line. They are intersecting, they are meeting at a particular fixed point. Okay, now the point at which this line meets, the point at which these two lines meets, they are called as intersecting. That point is called as intersecting point. So here point T is an intersecting points. This type of question they ask in exam, show the intersecting point and all that. So two lines which are intersecting, which are meeting at a common point, are intersecting lines, and the point at which they meet are known as intersecting point. Okay, now let's see the second type of line which we have. It is parallel line. Parallel lines. Okay, two lines, these are totally opposite to each other. Intersecting line, they always meet. They should have a common point at which they are meeting, so they are intersecting line. Parallel lines, the two lines which never meet, which will never meet. When two lines do not meet anywhere in the space, they are called as parallel lines. So suppose we have a line PQ here and RS here. These two lines will never meet. Wherever we extend it in both the direction, they are never going to meet. Then these two lines are known as parallel lines. Okay, sometimes in exams like there are questions in which they'll give you some diagrams and they'll ask you to find the number of parallel lines in the given figure. Okay, so if they are this type of figure, PQRS UVWX. Okay, and we have to find out the parallel lines, number of parallel lines in the given figure, pair of parallel lines. So in this PQ and RS, these two lines, if I'll extend it in any direction, they are never going to intersect, they are never going to meet. So PQ and RS are in parallel lines. But if you will see UV and WX, this type of mistakes are done by students in exam. They say these two are also parallel because they are not meeting. They are not meeting in the figure. But if you'll see at the diagram, if I extend it here and if I extend it here, they are going to meet somewhere. Okay, parallel lines do not meet. Even if we extend it in any direction, parallel lines will never meet. Only when then they are called as parallel lines. In this case, if we'll extend UV and WX in this direction upper sides, then they are going to meet. So in this case, UV and WX are not parallel lines. This type of questions are asked in exams. Okay, you have to keep this in mind, that you they might be same, like they are saying, we can see that they are parallel here, they are not meeting in the figure, but if we are extending it, they are going to meet. Then in that case, they are not parallel lines. Okay, I hope the types of lines are clear. Intersecting line, the lines here we can say WX, PQ, they are intersecting line because they are meeting at particular time, at a particular point. Similarly, PQ, UV, RS, UV, these are all intersecting lines. So intersecting line always meet at a particular point. Parallel lines, they never meet in the space. If we extend it in any direction, they will never meet. Then those lines are known as parallel lines. Okay, now let's move to angles. What are angles? When two rays or line segments meet at a point, at a particular point, then an angle is formed. Suppose we have this line PQ and QR. These two lines are meeting at a particular point. They are meeting at a particular point. Then we can say that an angle is formed here. An angle is formed. This is the way we show an angle. Here an angle is formed. So how we represent angle? We give an symbol of angle and we write PQR. This is the way we represent the angle PQR. Okay. When two line segments or rays intersect or meet at a particular point, we say an angle is formed. If this is one of the segment and this is another, then in this case also we have PQR as an angle. Here SQT is also another angle. Similarly, RQT, SQP, these are all angles because they are meeting at a particular point, then they are forming an angle. Okay. So how we represent angle? We represent with a sign, symbol of angle and PQR. Okay, different parts of angle. So these two line segments are known as arms. They are called as arms. Okay, these are known as arms. The point at which this two line segments or rays meet, where the angle is actually formed, at that point, this point is known as vertex. It is called as vertex. So in this case, for the angle PQR, point Q is a vertex for this angle. Okay, and this part, this is known as angle. This is actually the angle. Okay, I hope this is clear. What is angle? When two line segments or rays meet at a particular point, they form an angle. An angle gets formed. The two sides of the angle are called arm. The point at which they meet is known as a vertex. Okay, and this is the way we represent the angle. Now let's see different types of angles. We have 5 different types of angles. The first one is acute angle. And how we see different types of angles? The degree or the value for which the angle is formed represents whether it is acute angle, whether it is obtuse angle, right angle, straight angle, or reflex angle. We have these 5 types of angles: acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle, straight angle, and reflex angle. And how we find out which angle is acute or obtuse? Let's see with this example. Okay, so first start with acute angle. if the line segment or the angle which is formed is greater than 0 degree and less than 90 degree. It is between 0 degree to 89 degree, or it is less than 90 degree. Greater than 0 degree but less 90 degree, then an acute angle is formed. What is this degree? So the angle here which is formed, how we can count this angle of how many degree this angle is. If it is greater than 0 degree and less than 90 degree, okay, if it is less than 90 degree, so suppose this is a circle, and so for this circle I can say this is one angle because these points are meeting, two lines are meeting. So we can measure how much degree this angle is, and if it is 2 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 40 degree, how we represent it? We show it with a degree sign here. So in this case PQR, the angle it is making is less than 90 degree and greater than 0 degree. So we can say an acute angle is formed here. Okay, so acute angle greater than 0 degree, less than 90 degree. Okay, then we can say an acute angle is formed. Okay, the second type of angle is right angle. Right angle. Okay, right angle, whenever the angle formed is exactly 90 degree, whenever the angle formed is exactly 90 degree, here this angle is exactly 90 degree. 90 degree is generally represented with a square here because it is exactly 90 degree. Then we can say the angle is right angle. Okay, here it is exactly 90 degree. Also, when a right angle is formed, there is also one type of lines we can say which is perpendicular line. Perpendicular lines. Okay, we can say what is perpendicular line? When two lines intersect exactly at 90 degree. When two lines intersect exactly at 90 degree, then we can say the two lines are perpendicular. Here PQ and RS, these two lines are meeting exactly, are intersecting exactly at 90 degree, then we can say these two lines are perpendicular lines. Similarly, the angle, this PTS, it's a right angle. Okay, so whenever it's a right angle, the two line segments or two rays are always perpendicular to each other. Okay, so what we have learned about right angle, the angle, the degree of angle is exactly 90 degree, then we can say it's a right angle. Okay, so third type of angle is obtuse angle. Obtuse angle, whenever the angle formed is greater than 90 degree, and less than 180 degree. So for a circle, this is, if I'll start from this point, this is 0. Okay, there is no angle here. If I'll go here, now this is 90 degree of angle. If I'll cut it half, this is this PQR, this is 180 degree. Okay, because the circle is always 360 degree. If I'll cut it into half, it is 180 degree. Okay, so anything between this PQ and QS here, if any angle is formed, then it is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. So in that case, whenever the angle form is more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, we can say an obtuse angle is formed. Here it is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. So greater than 90 degree, less than 180 degree. Then it's an obtuse angle. Okay. The next type of angle is straight angle. It's very simple. Straight angle, whenever the angle form is exactly 180 degree or it's a straight angle. Okay, here it is exactly 180 degree. Okay, whenever the angle form is exactly 180 degree or it's a straight angle in straight line, then it's called as a straight angle. Exactly 180 degree. Then it's a straight angle. And the last type of angle is reflex angle. Reflex angle, whenever the angle form, now we have from 0 to 90 degree, exactly 90 degree, greater than 90 to 180 degree, exactly 180 degree. So the last remaining is the greater than 180 degree. Okay, whenever the angle form is greater than 180 degree but less than 360 degree, then it is known as reflex angle. For example, suppose we have PQR here. Okay, from this side it's making 45 degree. Okay, but outer side, at the outer side PQR, it is making the angle of greater than 180 degree. It is total is 360 degree always. Out of that, if I'll remove 45 degree, okay, so it is making the angle of 315 degree here. So PQR, from this side it's making an angle of 315 degree here, which is greater than 180 degree and less than 360 degree. Then this angle is called as a reflex angle. The reflex angle is always on the other side of the angle. The reflex angle is always there at the opposite side of the acute angle. For the acute angle, it always has the reflex angle at the opposite side. Okay, this type of questions are asked in true or false sums or in fill in the blanks. So for every acute angle, there is a reflex angle at the opposite side. Okay, so reflex angle greater than 180 degree but less 360 degree, then we can say the reflex angle is formed. So these are the type of angles: acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, reflex angle. Okay, now in exam that what type of questions they will ask. So they might give you one of the figure and they can ask you find the number of acute angle in the given figure, find the number of obtuse angle in the given figure. Okay, they might ask you they will give you one of the diagram and they can ask you find the reflex angle for this figure. Okay, this type of questions are generally asked for angles. Now they can give you any some in which they will give you some alphabets and they will ask you to find out the number of perpendicular lines. So which all alphabets have perpendicular lines? So suppose in this case we know F, they are perpendicular, they are always meeting at 90 degree. Okay, so this type of, but here for R, if we'll extend this, they are not meeting at 90 degree. Okay, so this type of questions are generally asked in exams. I'll have separate video wherein I will explain few examples, few sums for the angles and perpendicular lines and different types of lines. I hope different types of angles and line segments are clear to you. Keep this concept in mind. What are the different types of angles and it's very easy to solve the problems related to angles. They are generally logical problems. Okay, they might give you that if the acute angle for this angle is 40°, find out the value of reflection. Then you should know that if this is 40°, then PQR, the outer side, is a reflex angle. What is reflex angle? The outer side is a reflex angle. And how you can find it? The complete value for the circle is 360°, and if one is 40°, the acute angle, if it is 40°, then we'll subtract it and we'll get the value of reflex angle, that is 320°. So this type of questions are asked in exam. Okay, I hope all these concepts are clear. Okay, if you are liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I have explained each and every functionality of mathematics. If you are giving Olympiad exams, I have playlist which is chapter wise and which will really help you in all your exams. I have given detailed understanding explanation of the concepts of maths, which really helps to solve the problem. Subscribe to the channel and please click on bell icon. Till that time, keep learning, keep studying. Thank you for watching.